For number one, they're asking for the minimum value of this given parabola. Now, when written in vertex form, f of x equals x minus b squared plus h, the vertex, which is either the maximum or the minimum of a parabola, the minimum or a parabola could be upside down. Okay, the vertex is the highest or lowest point. So in this case, it's the opposite sign of this, only for whatever's in the parentheses. So for example, if it says x minus 2, then the vertex is 2, and then whatever this plus part is, the vertex is the point 2,4. So the minimum value occurs when the x value is 2. An alternate way you can solve it is by putting it into your calculator, graphing it, and then going to the calculate menu, going down to minimum, moving your cursor to the left and the right of your lowest point. What you're doing is you're creating a boundary. You want to find the minimum point between these 2 points. Move your cursor on the lowest point, hit enter on guess, and it says that your x value is 2. Now I understand it's 2.000. I can't figure out why calculators do this, but your answer is 2. And number two, they're asking you to look at this graph between the cost of gas and the number of gallons bought. Basically what they're asking you to do is to interpret the slope. The slope means average rate of change. Slope is your change in y divided by your change in x. Well, if my y-axis is the cost of gas and this is my x-axis and that's the number of gallons, then that means my numerator of my fraction is going to be the cost of gas and the denominator is going to be the difference in number of gallons. So if I just focus on these two coordinates, what I'm going to do is I am going to do 30 minus 15 and then 8 minus 4. So I'm getting that from my y values and my x values there, because we're looking for the difference in y's divided by the difference in x. You might know the slope formula as y2 minus y1 equals x2 minus x1. Simplifying this fraction, I get 15 over 4, which is equal to 3.75. So what that means is you have $3.75 for every 1 gallon. For number 3, for a recently released movie, the function y equals 119.67 times 0.61 to the x models the revenue where y is the amount of money earned and x represents how many weeks after the release. Based on this equation, how much more money in millions of dollars were earned in revenue for week 3 than week 5? Well, since x is the money, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in x equals 3 and plug in x equals 5. And then what I'll do at the end is find the difference in costs. So in my calculator, I do 119.67 times 0.61 to the third, and the same thing to the fifth power. Now I notice that I have 10 million and 27 million. What I'm going to do is find the difference. It says how much more money was in week 3. Okay, about 17.0558, which rounds to number 3. One quick note on the Regents exam, showing the appropriate substitution like I did and then using your calculator to calculate is an appropriate amount of work. This is a note for anybody who's concerned about how much work they need to show for their stuff. Which expression results in an irrational number? An irrational number is a non-repeating or non-terminating decimal, or it's the square root of a non-perfect square. For example, examples of irrational numbers are pi, square root of 2, square root of 7, 0.49112346, ... which indicates it goes on forever. Okay, so in number 4, you have 3 times the square root of 49. Square root of 49 is 7. This is 21. This is a rational number. So therefore it's not number 4. Square root of 5 times square root of 5 equates to square root of 25, and the square root of 25 is 5. That's a rational number. If you're trying to find the addition of the sum of two fractions, rational number. Fractions are rational numbers. In the word fraction, actually the word ratio resides in that. If I said rational number, okay, let's add F and add C in that little spot right there, and you have a rational number as a fractional number. Okay, in this case, it's got to have a terminating decimal or a repeating decimal, but in this case, it's just choice 2, number 1. Number 5 says which inequality is represented by the graph below. My y-intercept is -3, my slope is 2. So using y equals mx plus b, where I know this is my slope and this is my y-intercept, okay, then I should have 2 in that spot and then -3 or -3 over here. These are not my choices. This inequality is shaded above the y-axis, so it's got to be greater than. Should be choice number 2.